So co-op power is really our inspiration, we being the home energy efficiency team. And I'll just kind of give a little context for that, for the story. About a little less than 2 years ago, winter of 2008, I first heard about these solar hot water barn raisings. I thought, what is that? I saw it somewhere in some listserv or something. And so I got in touch and ultimately ended up talking to Lynn and finding out that indeed these were happening out in Western Mass, whatever they were. And so I got together a group of people, mostly through a group that I'm involved with in the Cambridgeport neighborhood in Cambridge called Greenport. We've been focused on trying to envision and encourage a just and sustainable Cambridgeport neighborhood. And we headed out to Western Mass, to a small town of Buckland, and for a day participated in one of these solar hot water barn raisings. It was basically a collection of about 15 people who got together and installed most of a solar hot water system for someone, with the idea that then they would gain skills, and potentially, if they wanted a system installed in their place, they could have a similar kind of barn raising. So it sort of stems from the American tradition of helping out our neighbors and to do something that would be harder with fewer hands. Many hands make light work, right? So we went to that, and I was pretty excited about it, as were a couple of other people who came out there. And we started talking about it within Greenport, and we decided that Co-op Power had enough to offer in terms of these ideas and these programs. It'd be great to try to bring it to this community of folks in Cambridgeport who were involved with it in Greenport. And so we had Lynn come out in, I think it was May of last year, and she did a presentation a little bit more detailed than what she just offered here, but about Co-op Power and the kinds of things that they offer. And folks seemed pretty jazzed about it. So we had a couple meetings after that, and they said, well, what are we going to do here? Are we going to try to do something grandiose, like install the community-owned wind turbines on the harbor islands, which would be a multi-year, incredible red tape project, but maybe we could get some of our own renewable energy there. And he said, well, that seems pretty, as much as we do know each other, but that we don't necessarily have the skills. Let's build up to this. So what can we start? What can we do like next week? Well, it ended up happening in the next month. In August of 2008, we decided to take the barn raising model to weatherization, home energy efficiency, conservation, and we started what we called the home energy efficiency team. I don't know if we called it that right, but basically we picked a date, we found a house, that a couple of apartment units that needed some work done in Cambridge, and we put the word out. And on a day that was much rainier than today, actually, in August, we had about 40 people show up. And it was pretty crazy because there was water everywhere being tracked in every part of the house. But what we did was we said, well, what are the things that we can do in an afternoon with relatively unskilled folks? We have focused more on air sealing than anything else. But to let you know where it's gone to, I'll just say, so we've been doing at least one barn raising, which sometimes involves more than one building a month. And there's been such an interest in this in the Boston area and beyond, but particularly the eastern part of the state, that we've started doing some trainings around it, because lots of municipalities have groups that are coming to us and saying, hey, we want to start something like this. And so we've been trying to help folks do that. I think there are currently 16 municipalities that have a group that's gotten together that's either started doing barn raisings or is interested in it and trying to form these groups. So we've shifted some of our focus from Cambridge, which is where we originally decided to focus, not just the Cambridgeport neighborhood, but the city of Cambridge, and trying to support this growth in these sorts of things. And I think they'll look different in any community that you go to in terms of the way that we get structured and the kinds of things that the housing stock lends itself to. But really, that's where we're at with it now. In fact, I guess I'll just say that right now there's this tension that we're facing sort of organizationally, trying to support things in Cambridge and at the same time maintain our sustainability, but then serve these other groups that are out and beyond. I think the model of barn raisings, of the community coming together to help one another, and it's pretty much all volunteers coming to help. We have contractors who lead teams, or folks who just have some basic skills, or even just a little bit of initiative, who are willing to take a group of folks and do this. And I can't give you numbers right offhand in terms of the kinds of reductions we've done in every category, but just like one example would be currently our air sealing is resulting in about a 20 to 30% increase in the thickness of the buildings, which equates to some reasonable savings for 3 hours of work or so. I guess I'll just put these. I don't want to have people looking at this while Mike or anybody else is talking, so I'll leave these up here. But here's some information from just some press about what happened at the barn raisings that we've gotten, and then a little flyer. And I'll just lastly say that the solar barn raising model, or the barn raising model at all, is not, the energy barn raising model is not new. This somebody gave us from 1981. So these things, this is sort of, like a renaissance of what's been going on for a while, particularly the last energy crisis.
The 80s are back.
The 80s are back, exactly.